There are phrases that hover over our lives like forgotten proverbs, tattooed in ancient books, whispered by those who keep secrets. As above, so below is not a metaphor. It is a coded warning, a compass pointing to the place where the impossible happens. This message has been distorted, simplified, relegated to the spiritual decoration of speeches that do not transform. But you who have come this far are not looking for another pretty phrase. You are looking for the truth that activates, the code that opens portals. Get ready to break the mirror, to look at reality as a reflective system. And above all, to perform your first miracle with the precision of someone who knows that every small movement reverberates in eternity. This is not a text. It is a ritual in 5 acts. Before starting this video, remember to subscribe and like it. There is a phrase that has been passed down through the centuries like a coded whisper. It is not shouted. It is not discussed. It is repeated like someone who knows that to repeat is to invoke. As above, so below. Many have heard it. Few have understood that it is a spiritual algorithm disguised as a proverb, a formula that explains why what you do in the invisible manifests itself in the tangible, and vice versa. Everything that is great is contained in the small. Every galaxy was already written in the cell of a tear. And every human emotion responds to the same pattern that governs the celestial orbits. It is not poetry. It is cosmic architecture. Think of it this way: if you can transform your room, you can transform your destiny. If you align your words with your emotions, you can activate the portal of miracles. Because what happens above, on the mental, emotional, and spiritual planes, is inevitably reflected below, in your body, your environment, your reality. This is the truth they have hidden from you. They told you that change came from outside, from higher forces, from foreign rituals. They sold it to you as a spectacle. But they didn't explain that you are the active principle of the miracle, that the universe responds to your coherence, not your supplication. Everything is designed in mirror image. Every action is a resonance. Every thought is an instruction. Every object you choose to have around you is defining your next destination without you noticing. That is why the first thing you must do is not ask. It is observe. Observe what you have sown above. Your judgments, your fantasies, your unresolved wounds. Observe what you are allowing below, your disorder, your bonds, the way you talk to yourself. And then you will see it. You will see that everything was already there, fulfilling the law, that law that is now awakening in you. Because only those who honor the reflection can take the first step toward the extraordinary. Make your first miracle. Do it from the center. From the exact point. From what you choose to hold high, knowing that the universe will simply respond. They say that the universe does not respond to what you want, but to what you are. And what you are is reflected. Not in words, not in intentions, but in the silent mirror of your everyday reality. What surrounds you is not coincidence. It is a mirror. It is a response. It is confirmation. But there is a mirror that no one taught you to look at. One that does not hang on the wall but manifests itself in your relationships, in your health, in your finances, in your emotional state. That mirror is showing you without filters what you vibrate. And you, without knowing it, are using it every day. Every time you judge, every time you procrastinate, every time you repeat a phrase that does not belong to you, you are activating that mirror. And it doesn't fail. It doesn't interpret. It only reflects. So when you wonder why the miracle doesn't happen, don't look to the sky. Look at the reflection. Because the miracle is not activated by desire, but by consistency. And this is where many sabotage themselves without knowing it. They decree abundance, but they vibrate scarcity. They ask for love, but they speak to themselves with contempt. They want to heal, but they hold on to habits that make them sick. The universe does not respond to what you say, it responds to what you hold. That is the invisible sabotage. The one that happens when your words go one way and your energy goes another. When you repeat affirmations without having embodied them. When you perform rituals without having cleared the resentment. The miracle is not denied. It is blocked. And the blockage is not outside. It is within you. But there is a way out. A way to deactivate the sabotage and open the channel. It is not about doing more. It is about aligning. About your thoughts, emotions, and actions saying the same thing. About your reflection being so clear that the universe has no choice but to respond. Because when you are the miracle happens. Not as an event, not as a spectacle, but as a natural consequence of your consistency. And then, the mirror no longer shows you what you fear. It shows you what you chose to be. They say that the miracle begins when chaos is brought into order. Not in heaven, not in temples, but in the most forgotten corner of your home, in the smallest gesture that you repeat without thinking. Because what is below, the physical, the everyday, the visible, is not an obstacle. It is the trigger. And this is where everything changes. When you clean a space, you're not just moving dust. You're moving energy. When you let go of an object that no longer represents who you are, you're releasing an old version of yourself that no longer needs to exist. Every external action is an internal signal. Every physical ritual is a vibrational statement. And the universe listens. That's why the miracle isn't activated by waiting. It's activated by investment. From the conscious act of transforming the visible so that the invisible aligns. You don't need incense or magic words. You need intention. You need consistency. You need to know that everything you touch can be a symbol, a portal, a key. And when you do, something opens up. Not outside, inside. The miracle doesn't come like a bolt of lightning. It comes as a certainty. Like a frequency that begins to repeat itself in your life. Like a synchronicity that you can no longer ignore. Because the miracle is not an event. It is a state where you no longer doubt, where you no longer ask, where you no longer wait. You just hold. You hold the vibration you chose. You hold the reflection you decided to manifest. And then the universe stops testing you, because it no longer needs to. You have already confirmed who you are. That is the true miracle, not the one that happens once, but the one that becomes your way of living, your way of speaking, your way of looking at the world. Because when you are the miracle, everything you touch is transformed. And everything you choose, manifests. And there, right there, the universe ceases to be a mystery and becomes a mirror. There is no longer up or down. There is only coherence. There is only truth. There is only you holding the miracle that no longer needs permission to exist. Now you know, the miracle is not begged for or expected from above. It is activated from the exact, the aligned, the authentic. You have passed through the layers of symbolism, the noise of the spiritual world, the internal saboteurs, and the transformative ritual. You have broken the cycle of illusion and entered the realm where magic is not disguised as a promise, but as a decision. And there is no turning back. Because once you see, you can no longer stop seeing. Once you understand, you can no longer act as if you did not know. You become the custodian of the frequency you chose to hold, and your every gesture begins to emit a transforming vibration. As above, so below, is not a rule, it is a responsibility. A law of resonance that makes you, without excuse, the architect of the sacred everyday. You are the reflection. You are the portal. The channel through which the universe executes its synchronicity. What you do now, what you decree, what you choose to manifest, you will no longer do so in the name of lack, nor from the hunger for what belongs to others. You will do so from the silent power you have just regained. From the certainty of one who knows that miracles occur, not through divine intervention, but through human activation. Perform your first miracle. And never again ask permission to be what the universe already confirms in you. Because when you affirm it, heaven sustains it. And the reflection simply responds. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. See you in the next video.